I've cried 3 times already today. What are we doing? 50 people are dead. Because... just because. Okay. I wanted to make this video because I'm a little louder. You guys know me, I'm a little louder. I tweet a lot, I snap a lot, I say a lot of things. But we've been told an awful lot, you know, about what we can and can't say or do. And I'm finally to the point where I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I think I know what's going on. I think a lot of us know what's going on. I think a lot of us are either too cynical to do anything about it or just don't care enough or aren't well educated enough, too ignorant, too sheltered, too in too deep into our own echo chambers that we craft for ourselves. I grew up learning that politics and religion are just not things you talk about, and as I've gotten older, I've realized that's not remotely true. Those are the things we must talk about. I've heard that a lot, but I've only recently started putting it into practice, and what really got me was this woman sharing her reports of texting with her son. She still doesn't know where her son is. This poor woman has no idea where her son is. I just don't know how many more people have to die. Like, how many more times does this have to happen? 18 times in Obama's presidency. 18 times he's had to address us about a mass shooting. 50 people dead last night. That's more than any other mass shooting. Guns are made for killing people. They're made for killing people. The Second Amendment was made for muskets, to defend us against tyranny. And now, we're handing the tyrants the keys and blaming each other for it instead. I about lost it this morning when someone said, well, he had connections to ISIS. It hurts extra to see that fear-mongering works on the people you love. I've been subject to it too. But it's, at some point you have to draw a line between reality and fiction. We cannot crave the fiction. We need the truth. We need the truth. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we're promised here. That's what we're supposed to have here. 50 people lost their lives last night so that other people could have liberty and the pursuit of happiness. If you're voting because you're voting a particular way, because of your health care or your money or your benefits or the things that you think you're entitled to, I'm so happy to finally be able to tell you that you're a part of the problem and we need you to change. And I'm sorry if that's difficult to hear. And I'm sure this video won't be the thing to change you, but at least I'll feel like I've done my part. And maybe someone who does see this video can find it in themselves to have that conversation or speak up. Yeah, changing your avatar is not going to do much. You have to vote. You have to educate yourself. I've educated myself. And the last time I did something like this, I wrote it instead of shooting a video. And I feel like I'm ready to do a video now. But I think I know enough now about what's really happening to help others see what's really happening. This is not a matter of opinion anymore. This isn't a quabble about where you align in terms of politics. This is about one thing: the value of a human life. And if the discussion is to become subjective, that's fine. But the pieces that are objective must remain in their place. Cannot keep doing this. Use your brains. The internet is a phenomenal resource. It's not just, oh, someone read a thing on the internet again. I'm not suggesting you go to BuzzFeed. I'm suggesting you dig deep. There's a reason why we have the internet. We have access to information. There's a reason why we are working so hard to bring the freedom of information that we experience here, the luxury of freedom of information, to other parts of the globe. We are on one space rock. I don't understand why this is so hard for people to understand. If I hear one more person tell me that because their flexible spending account is harder to deal with under the Affordable Care Act than it used to be, or that because you're going to get taxed more, or because you have to work a little harder and you've already worked enough, that's tough shit. You don't get to stop working because you think you've done enough. I don't plan to. And I hope that you don't. There's so much more work to do. It's not just that people don't have enough. There are people who don't have access to medical care, even with the Affordable Care Act. But those same people can go insane. Mental health isn't any better than it has been over the last 20 years either. And it's much easier for those people to go and buy a gun than it is for them to get medical attention. And maybe I'm too emotional a person, but it destroys me to know that I can't do anything. I hate not being able to help. It wrecks me. I just want to be able to help. And I finally learned that you can offer help, you can't force help. But you can ask, you can offer over and over. You can make sure that it's known. And when people are ready, they'll ask for help. But we got to keep offering help. If I hear one more person offering prayers, one more person offering thoughts, I'm going to lose it. That's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. You have to change. You have to learn. You have to open your mind. You have to read a book. You have to ingest the data, not just the data you don't, or just the data that you want to hear. We don't get to extrapolate it out now. We don't get to say, oh, well, we'll never get all the guns off the street. No shit. That's not the point. The choice is between more guns or less guns. Less guns. Too many people I respect. Too many people who know better. Call it mansplaining, call it whatever you want, but I would listen to a woman, I would listen to a child. There's that great video of that 11-year-old kid in, I think, Syria or Egypt, I don't remember where. Libya, I don't remember, but this kid's 11 years old, and he knows better than dozens of people who I know. I would give up half the things in this home if it meant that I could help this woman find her son. Sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. I could have been there. I've been to LGBTQ clubs. I marched in Pride in Chicago. I marched with Occupy Wall Street in New York. I've always done everything that I can do, despite having views that have changed over time, to help the people around me and do the right thing. It's so hard not to feel defeated when things like this happen. Maybe this helps. Maybe it doesn't. At least I feel a little better that I said something or did something. It could have been me. That could have been me. And every time you vote against, every time you vote for yourself at the expense of someone else's well-being, at the expense of someone else's safety, or their mental health, their stability, their happiness. If you think that your liberty in pursuit of happiness comes before the life of someone else, or their liberty, or their pursuit of happiness, God damn it. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. Love your neighbor as yourself. Treat others the way you'd want to be treated. I hope I never have to make a video like this again. Probably will, though. And you should too, maybe. You should consider it. You don't have to have a nice camera to make your voice heard. You don't have to be this sad. You don't have to be this hurt. You don't have to wait this long. We need to get guns under control first. We need to get healthcare under control. We need to elect people into office who represent our interests, not their own. I'll vote for Hillary if I have to, but I won't be happy about it. Do me a favor. If you don't do anything else after this, go do a little bit of research into your voting history. Not just the president, not just secretaries of whatever, your senators, the people who you vote for in your local government. Look up their voting records. See what legislation they've supported. If you have supported and voted for someone who has supported the NRA, or someone who has taken money from the NRA in order to prevent regulation and legislation that would protect people, you are complicit. And I don't mean that to scare you or to be a dick about it. But it's the truth, and you need to hear it. You don't get to offer prayers and sympathy when you voted and you allowed this to happen. So if you do anything after watching this, dig deeper. The information is there. Fucking people. That's too many people. One person is too many people. Christina Grimm. How many more? How many more people have to die? How many more times does this have to happen? Are we just going to stop caring in 2 more months again? People are conflating some sort of liberal agenda with facts. I don't consider myself a Democrat or a liberal or even a democratic socialist. I consider myself a good person who wants to do the right thing. Thanks for watching. Be kind to one another.